Well, I guess when we're planning, we can just put it here because it's easier to read on this side. All right. So, the idea is reverse 9/11 plot. Biden takes the new Kuwait gifted plane on a what do you call it? Like test drive? Joyride. Beezus, welcome. A joyride. Yeah, sure. On a joyride. To the Middle East and debate with Hunter over how much cocaine he did. Winds up crashing the plane into tallest tower in Dubai. You gonna have him crash it in the Burj Khalifa? Yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't know. We were looking this up the other day. I don't know anything about the Middle East, so I don't know anything. But the whole point is to basically have Kuwait feel, or like have Dubai feel like it was Kuwait, and then start this whole new war in the Middle East, and then it's like this, you know, complete fallout of events that lead to World War III. It's just another tick on the world map of crazy shit. So location is very drastic increase in drama from the gum chewing story. Yeah, very much so. Very much so, Beezus. Should we do this all from Hunter's perspective? And should it just be like Joe standing there like lecturing him half the time but not doing anything? And Hunter's just like going fucking like full Breaking Bad? It's like the what if Joe Biden got reelected in 2024. Oh, so we have Air Force One. $20.25 characters. So I have protagonist is Hunter Biden. Antagonist is Joe Biden. Character that helps. Let's see. Hunter's prostitute girlfriend and Joe's head of security. Daniel Toes. What's the girlfriend's name? It's gotta be like Cindy or something like that. Good morning, Eddie. How's it going, brother? Was glad to be able to catch you on your stream yesterday. Super chilled, dude. Just chilling in the background, just doing some editing and stuff like that. It's usually when I watch streams when I'm editing. Daniel Toes. And then the foil character will be the should we say like hunters? Actually, the foil should be the head of security, and the what's it called, the Tarshanon or whatever. Protagonist, third most important character of their own pivotal role in the story, which is you know, he's the no, actually, this should be that, and then the foil should be it should be like Hunter's journalist buddy, and it's like he keeps a journalist with him, so the journalist knows like what to keep out of like the media, if you know what I mean, like things that not directly but would indirectly lead to somebody discovering stuff about Hunter. So he's always there to make sure that, you know, he knows what the media is allowed to report on and not allowed to report on. As a joke, Trump plays rock, paper, scissors with Biden to see who gets to test pilot the new Kuwait jet. Wins, but Hunter sneaks, or Hunter was already on the plane fucking around, so when Biden takes off, Hunter takes over. It's like, it's literally like a family fucking dispute on a fucking Air Force One with a bunch of drugs. Definitely using dialogue in the form of Quentin Tarantino. Let's see, site. We see drugs, alcohol, disarray, undergarments, and the like. Strewn condoms Other paraphernalia. Plane, cockpit, and lounge with full bar. Mimicking the presidential office room. Smokey, welcome. What should Hunter be listening to? Should he, like, what kind of music? Should it be like death metal? Should it be rap? Should it be like K-pop, or just like something fucking stupid? So Smokey, we're writing the reverse 9/11 story, and it's basically gonna be Levi. What's happening? This is the plot. So Biden takes the new Kuwait-gifted plane on a joyride in the Middle East, and mid-debate with Hunter over how much cocaine he did, winds up crashing the plane into the tallest tower in Dubai. And the event is, as a joke, Trump plays rock, paper, scissors with Biden to see who gets to test pilot the new Kuwait jet. Biden wins, but Hunter was already on the plane, fucking around, so when Biden takes off, Hunter takes over. Was this a stroke of inspiration while at work? No, this was just random inspiration. I was like, what's the most controversial story I could possibly write? Oh, I know. Boom. What would happen if Biden did 9/11? What would happen if 9/11 happened what if America pulled a 9/11 on the Middle East? And since it's like the idea of 9/11, but a 9/11 from the Middle East to America is terrorists. So what's a 9/11 from America to the Middle East? Well, it's the fucking Titanic. It's how retarded and ridiculous America is that we fuck up so bad that it's equal to what someone purposefully tried to fucking do. And I think that's like the contrast. Oh, Rick, welcome. Night Cerrito. How's it going, Rick? Good to see you again, good sir. Sound. So yeah, it should be like, it should be like, oh, what's it called? Is it B? I can never remember. What's the name of it? Callie, is it, or was it book? It's like BJS, right? Got back from prom. Ooh, prom. Nice, Rick. How'd that go, man? What am I looking for? BTS, that's what it is. BTS. Korean pop band. So he loves BTS. Buy sexy chair dance. Ooh, you want a sexy chair dance? Place was fancy, but it was small. I was expecting it to be big, like in the movies. Nice, it went well. Nice, good to know, Rick. Yeah, I had my prom at a hotel, and I just realized, what the hell is going on with my chat? Why is it so off? Oh, it reset. Uh-oh. Well, that sucks. Because, guys, I made this. And I resized the chat for it. But apparently it resized all of the chat, and I didn't notice that. So, I don't care. We're just setting it back to what it was. And unfortunately with this, it's kind of going to float over. But I don't think it matters. It is what it is. Where shall I drop my stories? That would be in the Discord under public stories. There you go, good sir. Just join the Discord. Where shall I drop my shit? I don't do scat, but I know someone who does. So... Discord I shall. Good. Gotta get more people in there. Interesting. It's Eggy, by the way, if you didn't know. Oh, what's it called? There's like a specific, like, smell. It's like the love smell. I can't fucking remember what it is. Jasmine. That's what it is. It's jasmine. Sight is also, blue patterns like lobster and sushi and Korean barbecue. And this can also go under smell and taste. All right. I think that pretty much sets the scene for the entire plane. Did you post it, Rick? Do you want me to read it? True. Is there any other food that he should have? What do you guys think? Crazy crackhead Nepo child. What kind of foods should he have? Baklava? What's baklava? That looks like shepherd's pie and a scone. Good night, broski. Good night, Rick. Have a good one, good sir. Take care, bud. Gonna turn in. As always, no problems, man. Have good sleep. May your dreams cast you. Baklava is a major pain in the arse to make. Layers of puff pastry with different sweet stuff in it. Think like a lasagna, but sweet and dry. Haven't had it in a long time, but it bangs. Yeah, it looks really fucking good. I'm not one for sweet stuff, but yeah, that looks amazing. So yeah, well, for dessert, we're definitely adding in baklava. Perfect. Okay. Goal. I'm baklava this week, probably the single tastiest substance on earth. Sounds amazing, Eggy. I'll have to check it out. Okay, so goal. To fuck with Joe. Conflict. He may not know I'm fucking with him. Say Trump. May not know Trump is fucking with him. Disaster. Joe wins. Oh wait, actually, the conflict. Here, we're just gonna say this. To play rock, paper, scissors. Actually, that is the conflict. What's the goal? figure out who is gonna test pilot the Kuwait jet. Dilemma. Hunter is on. Actually, plane is a mess. Leave anyways. Goal is to fly around the world and see how well the jet performs. Conflict. Hunter and his hose are on the plane. Disaster. It's running out of drugs. Reaction. Hunter wants the plane to land. Dilemma. Joe can't just land the plane. Decision. Get head of security talk to Hunter. Goal. Calm Hunter down. Conflict. Cindy joins the fray. Disaster. She's so dumb. She starts fighting with Hunter instead of Joe. Just for context, let's take the characters and put them on the other side so we know which ones are which. Oh, right, and then we have this guy. Fighting Joe. Hunter instead of Joe. Reaction. What's his name? You can call him Harold. Back shots, true. Let's go, Smokey. Bring it on. Bring it up. Bring it over. Bring it at. Where we going, boys? What we doing? Super dope anime song. You want a super dope anime song? I'll give you a super dope anime song. Even though, Smokey, I have already actually gotten in trouble for music, so I'm gonna actually ask Grok before I pull this up. But... Because remember, were you here when that Ryan guy was here? On YouTube for music, because some Ryan guy got me to bring up this music for this rapper, and I got in trouble. So the next time it happens, I get a 1-week ban on YouTube. So I gotta be careful what music I play. It's fucking YouTube. That's why I'm asking Grok. Don't play it if it's gonna get you banned. Yeah, that's why I'm just looking. Yeah, bad idea. Apparently. So, unfortunately, yeah, I can't. Yeah, it's all fucked. It is what it is. YouTube's a fucking joke when it comes to music. And now I've worn through my one warning. And then 3 copyrights and the channel just gets deleted. Period. No questions asked. Just everything's gone. That would fucking suck. Like, we have 462 videos. You can't challenge it as fair use or anything. Well, because fair use is determined in court, right?
You are in for it now, sweetheart. Take those sexy glasses off like a good girl. You don't need to see what
Does
happens
anyone
next.
want to have any input on the story on what should happen next? Because I'm thinking about wrapping it up here. Like, this is the reason. And then they let Hunter into the cockpit, and Hunter does some crazy shit, and they happen to just be over the Middle East, and then the outro will be like, after the crashing of the plane, the war in the Middle East, and then it sparks into World War III, and it'll just be like a summarization montage zoom out of the world as everything goes to shit from this fucking ridiculous accident that's not really an accident, that's like, you know. The biggest problem with the Middle East, terrorism. Biggest problem with America, nepotism. Instead of an explosion, so a magical rainbow explosion. It is what it is. Because people on the plane are LGBTQ. So it makes sense. Hunter wants to fly the plane. Conflict. Pilot put it on autopilot. So maybe Hunter won't notice. After it takes off autopilot. Pretends to crash the plane, laughing and fucking around. Harold tell Hunter to chill out. Hunter sees the tower, tallest tower in Dubai. Says that's where my main coke's dash is, and crashes the plane into the tower. That's kind of fucked up that we literally ended exactly where that, like, the amount of ones that I did. That's crazy, guys. That's scripted. This is the problem with the AI. It's way too scripted. We need to add, like, different like these kinds of coincidences shouldn't happen, because the more that they happen, the more that'll break the fourth wall of realism, and people will be like, there's no way. It's like streamers that get, like, you know, I guess a great example of it is like Asmongold's double pull of, like, you know, the new S rank or whatever it was in Wuthering Waves, I think it is. And it's like back to back the new character on the first pull. It's like, yeah, I'm just winning. Cute Muffin, welcome, welcome. Hate that you can't, yeah, so, shit like that needs to be fixed. How are you doing today, Muffin? We are riding the reverse 911. Biden discussing who should pilot. Who should get the test drive for the new Kuwait jet. The B-Day was good. Spent 4 hours out. Nice! Oh, I forgot. Happy birthday. That's today, Muffin. Happy birthday. Big fucking day, bro. Hell yeah, brother. I'll toke to that. Straight up. 1 year closer to the grave, my friend. 1 year closer to the grave. I'll cheer to that. One thing I got was a broke wrist because I set a high score on the punching bag. Wait. Like, you actually broke your wrist? Or did you just, like... Is that a hyperbole? Is it a sharp pain or is it like a muscle pain? Like, can you move your fingers like this without it hurting? Or is it just when you do this? Or like grab something or put pressure on it? In a roll race, it feels like I pinch something. Ooh. Doesn't. It's not like something needs to crack. Is it like in here, like the upper parts, like around the joints here, or is it like more like in here or in here? If it's those joints, you should check that out. Could be a microfracture. But it's usually a sharp pain if you try to move. Hunter is discovered on the plane. Oh, now I'm doing a 2018 piece mini Lego set with max difficulty. If you face your hand down, the inside bit where if you point your thumb out, it makes a cave just below that. If you face your hand down, the inside bit where if you point your thumb out, makes a cave. So like right here? That's probably a tendon issue. That's probably not a it's like a sprain, not a break or a fracture or anything like that. So yeah, I just say keep ice on it, and you should be fine in a couple days. Hunter is out of drugs. Hunter wants to pilot plane. Hunter crashes. Well, actually, what's plane to land? Tries to land the plane, so and hits the tower. Conclusion. Hearing that guy believes it is complete. Anthem starts new war in the Middle East. Trump tries to start escalates. Escalates, joining the other conflicts in the world, leading to World War III. As world falls apart. Okay, that's the one part we didn't do. Decision. Dubai and Kuwait go to war. So we'll take another set of this. Report on conflicts of the world. Conflict. Believing that the U.S. inspired to tackle by Kuwait. Tanif Howell, are we chilling? Yeah, bro, we are writing the most controversial story that will ever be written, ever. It's called Reverse 9/11. Jeez, am I on a watch list now? It's like a contrast of how like let's say like one of the biggest problems in the Middle East is like terrorism, and one of the biggest problems in the US is like nepotism. So it's like Biden takes the new Kuwait gifted plane on a joyride to the Middle East. And mid-debate with Hunter over how much cocaine he did, he winds up crashing the plane into the tallest tower in Dubai. And it's like, as a joke, Trump plays rock, paper, scissors with Biden to see who gets to test pilot the new Kuwait jet. Biden wins, but Hunter was already on the plane fucking around, so when Biden takes off, Hunter takes over. And then it's just like this, like, Titanic incident where it's like, you know, everyone's getting fucked up, no one really knows what's going on, having a joyride, and next thing you know, oh shit, kaboom. And everything just goes to shit. and then it like sparks like World War III. And it's all because America's fucking retarded. But yeah. We love pushing the boundaries of what people would consider. Well, I agree with that last part as an American. Yeah, I'm Canadian, so it's like I kind of have a perspective that's not exactly affected by it, but Canada's pretty much in the same fucking boat. So it's like, at least watching your guys' politics, I can laugh at it, whereas I get frustrated when I watch any Canadian politics. I'm like, this is a fucking joke. But hey, last time I voted for Trudeau. He fucking legalized weed and fucked everything else up. But hey, at least he legalized weed. You gotta give him one, right? Like, fuck. Okay. What did he fuck up? I genuinely don't know. Asking earnestly. Oh, it's like a housing thing where it's like he made like basically DEI initiatives for like natives and like bringing like a shit ton more like immigrants into the country. Like we have a very, very high population of like Indo-Canadians, right? But it's like now we have a ridiculously high amount of like it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like it's not something that everybody wanted. Was an extreme. We're in a bad spot as it is, so it's kind of like America with illegal immigrants, except we let them in legally. So we have like thousands and thousands of like Ukrainian, Russian, Palestinian, Israeli, like refugee kind of like type people, right? And they're all here legally. They all get subsidized by the government. They all basically get, like welfare and stuff. Well, it's like we have homeless problems, we have drug problems, we have food problems, we have housing problems, and all the government was like is, yeah, come in here. And it's like, yeah, we're small, we only have like 35 million people, but you gotta think a lot of the terrain around here is just not viable yet. Right? Like I live in Alberta, and most of Alberta is very, very small clustered towns. Like there's like 4 main cities in the entirety of fucking Alberta. Like the rest of it is just nothing. The middle of like BC's got a lot, and like Ontario's got a lot, but in between there, like Alberta and Saskatchewan and Manitoba, we're pretty fucked. But it is what it is. So it's like, to me, a large city is probably what you would consider a small town. Because that's kind of how I felt. I went from like a 60,000 person town to a 6,000 person town. But for some reason, this 6,000 person town feels busier than the 60,000 person town because it's a hub for all of the other smaller towns around it, because we have like the main big like stores, whereas most places are all like farm and family businesses, right? Like farmers markets and stuff like that. Now my city, which is the biggest city in my state, is 125k pop. So not massive, honestly. Yeah. And then you look at, like, what's the population of Vancouver? Let's see. Let's ask Grok. What's the population of Vancouver? You know what else isn't massive? Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah, that's insane. Look how big Vancouver is. Metro Vancouver area exceeds 3 million. That's like if you include like all the smaller areas around Vancouver, like Surrey, Newton, like all small sub areas of like the main part of Vancouver. Now think about this. $41 million. That's like what, 7% of the population lives in just that small area? Because that is the most fertile and like literally best land. Yeah, I know, I'm a slave. Oh, TTS isn't on. I'm an idiot. Hold on. Is it fixed?
Am I hostage, Auntie Moore?
Okay, yeah, she doesn't have a glove over her mouth. Good job. Welcome back. Welcome back, Ivy. But yeah, so that's like 7% of the population that lives in just one small area. Like, let's look at like Google Maps. Vancouver. So we got Burnaby, Richmond, Surrey. It's like this entire area here. If you look at like all... So like 7% of the population is like this. That's crazy. Yeah, and then you look at like, oh, what's the population of like Calgary? $1.3 million up to like 1.8 to 1.9. So like there's like 10 main cities in Canada that host like the majority of the people. Like a major amount. And then there's just small sub areas that kind of form together. So it's like Canada could easily have 10 or 20 times the population. So bringing in immigrants and stuff like that has never been a real big issue. But now it's starting to become an issue. Because we're like, yeah, we're getting a little too much, you know? And it's not even that they're immigrants. It's the fact that the government is subsidizing their existence here and not helping, like, the actual Canadian citizens, right? That's, like, the biggest problem. Okay, the Middle East is split on who support who. In the West, the issue is combined with Israel and... Gotcha, yeah, I don't know enough on the dynamic. Yeah, it's more of like the government, but I guess that's kind of like the things I've seen in the US that they do with like illegal immigrants, right? But it's like ours are legal immigrants, it's just we don't, like if you're gonna come into the country, we don't want to be subsidizing you. We want you to come into the country and subsidize us. Like we want you to be a, you know, a thriving, growing force, not a leech, right? And it's like, most of them are incentivized not to get jobs because they'd lose their welfare through the government. So it's like, it's a really big issue over here. And then people hate like actual immigrants and stuff like that because like people are like Indo-Canadians that have been here forever, right? Because they just assume most immigrants are only boons to an economy, statistically, illegal or not. Yeah. It'd be nice to get like $2,000 a month per person in your family for no fucking reason. That's literally my paycheck. Israel and Palestine. Is it Istine? Is it E? Ah. So they only help your economy. Illegal more so because they don't get government benefits by definition. Yeah, Tan, if that's why illegal immigrants aren't as much as an issue, it's the money that we're giving to these legal immigrants and encouraging these legal immigrants to come over here and enticing them essentially with, like, here, we'll give you this if you come over. So people that, like, shouldn't even be, like, refugees in that, under that category come over because of what we're offering. Which, again, is, like, a problem that we have. And the new guy we voted in, I didn't vote, but hey, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. And then with, like, the tariffs and shit with Trump, fuck if I know. Even though it's like China has way more tariffs on us than the US does. China tariffs us 100% on everything. The US tariffs us 12%. I googled this shit before, like grokked it. I grokked it. It's illegal for Trump to institute tariffs is the big issue. Well, this would be my question, Tanif, would be why? Like, what is the legality issue that's stopping Trump from instituting tariffs? Because I don't know. That's financial policy, which has to be set by Congress, not the president. But if Trump can convince Congress to do that, so the US Senate has to pass a law for the tariffs. But instead, Trump's making it an executive order in order to bypass the bureaucracy. Right? So he's just bypassing the entire system and basically shooting first and asking questions later. Where he's like, I'm setting everything up now so that it's actually going to get done. And then he's using emergency policies to try and institute them. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So he's trying to bypass all of the steps in order to get it done now. Now, my question is, that's why he was accusing Canada of sending fent over the border. I mean, Canada does have an issue with fentanyl. But I don't know where that fentanyl comes from. And I know especially Canada, or Vancouver, has a huge issue with drugs. I'm getting bored of all this politics. I mean, fair enough, Muffin. Even though that is kind of, like, the topic of the story today, is, like, pushing politics to the extreme on the highest level when it comes to, like who can do what. Yeah, political science major. Ah, nice. So my question would be, then, does the outcome of what Trump is trying to do matter more than the way in which he does it? Because I will preface this by saying Trump is the biggest scammer, like, fraudster, like asshole, douchebag, piece of shit. But he knows the game. You gotta respect him for knowing the game. And putting it, like mafia-style gangster. Like, he's been in the business. What is show business? Show business is being fucking ruthless. What's politics? Being fucking ruthless. He knows his craft. I'll give him that. So you have to go along with, use that as the preface for the context of it, and say, at the end of the day, if what he does fixes the country, does at the end of the day, it matter how he did it. Because that is a people will be very split on that, because that is a very, very interesting ethical dilemma, right? It's the trolley problem. Like, which is better, to have your country completely fall apart because the bureaucratic system is so entangled that it's unable to get itself out of its own noose, whereas there's somebody who comes by and just fucking cuts the rope. And says, you can't do that! You can't just cut the rope! You gotta talk to the guy to do the thing, to talk to the people, to do the thing, to get the rope, to figure out what we need to use to cut the rope, to get the rope to cut perfectly, so that we know that we don't injure while we cut it, right? Yes, that's another thing, Tanif, is that what he is currently doing is perceived as having a complete negative effect on the country. Right? So what I'm saying is, in the long run, because of course it's going to look bad now, right? My question is, what will it look like in 4 years from now? I mean perceived as in short term. Right? Like, people are seeing the effect of it now, but what is the effect in 2 years from now? Like, like, where are we in the bell curve, and where does the end of the bell curve, what time period is that? Is that 5 years, 10 years, 4 years, 3 years? No, I know, it is bad in the long term too, because America was a trading hub of the world. And now it's basically forcing other people countries use USD to ensure their economy, etc., and are branching away from it. Yeah, because how do you put this? Like, one of the biggest things for understanding like how well a country's currency is doing is their lowest common denominator of currency. So when Canada removed the penny and nickel became our lowest currency, which is 5 cents, that literally lowered our scale on the World Economic List, because we no longer have a currency that is in a denomination of 1. U.S. hegemony and its consequences have been a disaster for the developed world. Well, that's another thing, Levi, are these things that the U.S. doing and turning away from, like, requiring the need or the trade of the rest of the world a step in the right direction, or a step in the direction where they're like, okay, now we don't rely on anyone, let's just take everyone the fuck over, right? Hard disagree. Setting that aside, though, the currency is tied to stability. Wait, what do you hard disagree with? What Levi said? Or what I said? What Levi said, okay. But I would kind of agree with Levi that the interference that the U.S. Anytime the U.S. has had an interference, it's been in the negative. Like, on a global scale. When it comes to anything beyond just trading, it's like when we start to implement policy and we start to implement, like, going how far back? Well, I'm talking like 1950s onwards, like early Cold War into like Vietnam, into the like Afghanistan, Iraq, and like the Middle East, into like what we've done, like specifically I would also say like in a setting aside World War I and World War II. Yes. And I would also include like religion in the form of like missionary work, and like the American influence on the rest of the world due to like missionary work being done around the world, and like non-profit organizations that support development of third world countries, right? Because there is positives, right? So including those positives, Neptune Sphere 111. Welcome, welcome. How's it going? One of the biggest things that America and Canada provide that the world is being a part of NATO. Well, and we can spread our voice to areas that don't have the power of democracy, right? And are usually ruled through like some sort of military power, whether that be a warlord or like some sort of organization that adheres to being a pseudo government, right? What are you doing, bro? Any context? Sorry to disturb in between. No worries, Neptune. We are just discussing the idea of basically how America has influenced the rest of the world, and is like Trump's tariffs, are they going to be a long-term benefit towards America and the rest of the world, or is this all one giant shit show? And is going through the bureaucratic process and using the voted availability of the American Congress and Senate system outweigh and more important than if what Trump does is successful? That's the main point, though, is if what like, it's the ethical debate of if Trump was successful with the tariffs and, let's say, ended Israel-Palestine conflict, ended Russia-Ukraine conflict, ended Pakistan-India conflict, and ended the genocide, quote-unquote genocide, in South Africa, then would you say that skipping the bureaucratic system and our instigated systems would have been worth the risk? If he did that, it would be good, definitionally. Yes, Tanif. But then I asked the question of, even if it's good, does that justify him skipping it? Because we are in the timeline where he is failing at that, right? So it's like we have to look at it. We are in a world of a cup half empty, and even saying if we lived in a world of a cup half full, like, what does that represent for the future in history? Saying the way that we fixed our country was by telling the bureaucracy and the systems we have in place to commit our democratic process were basically thrown out the window in order to facilitate the risk of fixing everything. I don't know if breaking the system would be a good, though, because I don't think so either, Tanif. I think definitionally breaking the rules of the system, even if it's a good outcome, isn't a good thing. I think you should look at, think of like a League of Legends game. System is already broken, and if his tariffs did all that, it might actually get some work done in repairing it. Well, that's one thing, Sean, is I think this is a huge definition. The systems are bad, so violating them, even for neutral things, would be good. Levi, that's where I say, why are we not then going back to the system and saying, okay, the system is the problem. In America, part of the time is part of being the team. I think if you no systems are necessary. I think systems are necessary in order to prevent chaos, because systems allow people to be able to be held accountable to things without vigilantism. Because vigilantism basically leads to the fall of civilization. You'd have to be impeached for it, but they couldn't pretend that their system could have done the same thing either. I think Neptune is saying, no, I am supporting the system that is necessary. Yeah, what were the names? Okay, we need that was Tanner. I don't know about Joe. Yeah, she can just be Cindy. He can just be Daniel. He can just be Harold. Oh, we got like, I don't know how to spell it. Bill. I don't know why Stella and Death next to each other made my brain remember Stalin's Death, the movie. Or The Death of Stalin, I think was the name. That's quite interesting where your brain goes there, Ray. This one's obviously Bob. And that's gonna be Dick. Easy. Easiest names of my life, guys. I'm like, how do I do dialogue here is the question. Actually, this is Josh. I'm trying to think of some part. Is it like partner? I'm trying to think of like a word that Bush uses. I'm trying to think back to like Bush speeches and like what is he like? It's partner, right? That's like the word that he uses. Anyone know? Anyone have any ideas? Because I kind of want to use like kind of similar phrasing to how they are. Paramore is another option. Misunderestimated. Nuclear. 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 Oh, if you can't spell it, you shouldn't be able to use it. Oh. Sure thing isn't that what he says? It's like sure thing partner? I'm just gonna Google it. List of command Trumpisms. Common Trumpisms. Oh god. Then again, we got like I'm the best. You can't beat me. Give it up. Calling people names. It's so fucking Trump. Yeah, I have no idea. So we're just gonna say that. I don't know, what do you guys think about like dashed despair? It's like the double negative, where it's like it's subduing your despair. Instead of like dashed your spirits, it's like dashed your despair.
Another fun day over, I am off. Have an absolute blast, everyone. I came, I saw, I came again.
True, Callie. Alright, have a good night, Sean. Thanks for hanging out, man. Have a good night, take care, and as always, fuck you, good sir. Okay, now this moves here. Because now we're talking about the poker game. So we haven't met the goal yet. Which I think he should say. Speed it up. So we haven't set the goal yet. Forced, but I need something there to state some sort of goal, which is a joyride of some kind. I'm like, do I say that this is Reginald? Or do I just infer that this is Reginald because he's talking about losers and the fact that he didn't win? And he was saying that earlier. So I think Bob's the one who's pissed. I don't know about that, but I thought it was just funny. Because it's like disappearing and it's like, yeah. If you know, you know. Okay, so we gotta put this somewhere else. Or we just finish up this scene with the reaction to him winning the goal. And the goal being to win the poker game. Just so I know that it's Reginald who said that when I come back to editing. But I don't know if I'm going to actually say that. We'll see. I don't even know what exactly it is. Okay, it's just a jetliner. Like, I don't want to call it Air Force One, but what's something that's kind of like Air Force One that's not Air Force One? Hmm. Some name like Air Force One, but not Air Force One. I don't know if docked is the right word, but we'll just go with it. Hmm. Hmm. Alright, back to the sax vibes. Hey, we're the Bang Bang Boys. Blaze, Vex, Sly, Nyx, Torque, and Echo. Six Mind, tangled in stories and pixels. Writers, gamers, chaos coordinators. Here to watch you unfold the narrative, one frame at a time. So what do you think of my reverse 9/11 story? Of Hunter Biden crashing the newly given... jet into the what is it? The Burj Khalifa in Dubai. And it'll be like Qatar gave us a jet and we flew it into the towers. And it's like nepotism in the US is like the biggest problem in, like, you know, the reverse of terrorism being the biggest problem in the Middle East. What do you think of our story, Haven? Does it hit all the marks for, like, controversial, humorous, interesting, over-the-top, and ridiculous, yet has a tiny bit of truth to it? That's the goal. Torque, haha, that's a wild image. Definitely the kind of chaotic plot twist we didn't see coming. If only the Bang Bang Boys had a screenplay that edgy. It's like bringing back Tropic Thunder, you know? Like bringing back, allowing, like, not having comedy be political, even if you're covering, like, a political topic. Like, for instance, something like The Diplomat. Or, is that what it is? I think, with, Seth Green. Or, no, Seth God, names are hard. But you know what I mean. Yeah, that's it, The Interview. Yeah, The Interview. Right? Where it's like, even with extreme political things, you can still make a humorous, you know, thing. And come on, it's been 20 years. We're allowed to make fun of 9/11. Everyone knows Bush did it. And that's why he's the character that's saying, yeah, you're gonna be the one who crashes it. To Joe, who's Josh. We got some epic foreshadowing going on here. But yeah, do you write stories, Haven? Because if you do, you should drop them in the Discord. Or just join up in the Discord, you know? That's where everyone posts all their stories and everything. Got a bunch of different stuff in there, all the plot outlines, which I have to direly need to update. Yeah. But feel free to join up in there. It's always a good time. Emergencies. Hmm. Hmm. It has no idea. I can't spell worth shit, guys. Caught. I mean, what? Okay, there's no hyphen. It's just one word. That makes more sense. We want here this, so we know where we are. Next target locked. True. Okay, so I think this is just going to be an intro. And it's kind of just going to show the different things for the different people, right? And then from there, we just, I'm thinking like transitions, right? Because like, I'm really bad at transitions. So I don't know where the transition should be out of this scene, right? Heavy smell of fine cigars mixed with the faint tint of stellar perfume wafted as Reginald heaved out a breath. You know you can't beat me. I'm the best. Give it up, Sleepy. The devil's husband is waiting his try. I can still throw down with the best, Reg, Josh said. It's a long night, partner. Speed it up. We all want that joyride, Richard interjected. So what's the goal here? To play a hand. Poker. Do you carry note cards when you go to work so you can quickly jot down any thought you have for a story while you work? That's what my phone's for. Oh, well, it's gonna die, but yeah, that's what my phone's for. Like, and so this is, so I couldn't think of any ideas because like I was thinking about like TikTok ideas, so I couldn't think of any all day, and then on my way home to work I got so do like a meme compilation of like the time it takes for you to write out a comment responding to a thing on TikTok. So it's like it's self-referential fourth wall breaking. It's like, you know, you're sitting there trying to comment on something, making like the perfect comment. Like someone asks something along the lines of "What's your favorite line?" and you're stumbling there trying to be like, "Fuck, how's the wording of it go?" You know, or like something like describe your book cover and then describe my book cover. Like, you know, you've got the eclipse in the background with the main character, a fully muscular, two-handed wielding, adventurer wrapped with an avian who is like a basilisk. So he's wrapped around the main character in a shield, and then his head is like peering over top of the main character, and and then above that is like outstretched wings of an insectoid, and then the insectoid's head peering down, strings from a can never remember what the fuck it's called. You know, puppet strings, and then the two shadowy figures in the background. And then for like editing and stuff, me taking like the 7-hour stream and turning it into like 2-minute compilation, and then like purposeful spelling mistakes in order to get people's attention. And then something like if you're stuck and you don't know how your characters are going to act in a scene, write multiple scenes with multiple reactions for those characters. And I just like wrote those down as I was walking home from work. I'm like, oh, these would be pretty interesting ideas. So yeah, all the time, like this notepad thing on my phone is like fucking stacked with ideas and shit like that. Like most of the stuff I do on the stream is usually like in some ways premeditated, but not very, right? Like I have a general idea, and then I'm like, oh, that's a good idea, I'm gonna bring that up, right? Like the reverse 9/11. I was like, oh man, this is like combining like so many political fucking things. I want to do the most controversial story I possibly can. And that's where we are now. But yeah. And half the ideas I lose because I don't have time to like write them down, right? But they'll come back. If it's a good idea, it'll come back. And I love it when I go to write down an idea and it's already written down. Bold that one. If you forget it and then remember it, and then write it down and then forget it, and then remember it and then try to write it down and realize that you've already written it down, it's a damn good idea because you keep coming back to that idea. Even if you forget it, you still come back to it. That's a solid idea. You gotta forget it 3 times and then remember it, and then the 4th time, it's actually an idea. That's how you pick the best idea. Oh, dude, that's a great TikTok idea, actually. Dude, picking the greatest idea out of that. Perfect. See? Just random, out of nowhere. And it's like, yep, okay, that makes total sense. Let's do that. So, to play a hand of poker. I can still throw down with the best, Reg, Josh said. It's a long night, partner. Speed it up. We all want that joyride. This one, not so sure about. Because we've changed what it actually is. So I think we're just going to get rid of this. Maybe we can come up with something better later. Okay. So we need something about the wager. Not quite sure. Soft sound voices from around the table on the couch, getting closer. Require more wine. Fine, sirs. When I was a young teen, I'd offer to dig out dandelions at a penny per plant. 1 yard, I only did the visible half and had already hit $80. So I asked the homeowner if she wanted me to keep going because of how high I had gotten. She said, nope, we'll spray the rest. You did great work. Totally worth the $80. I can't afford anymore. That's pretty crazy, Sean. So this is just like random scene, nothing really happening here. My wheelbarrow was full and almost overflowing too. Took all the weeds home and dumped them over the bank behind my place to rot among the blackberry vines. Nice, Sean. Good stuff. Okay, so can't say that. Okay, so then we get rid of this. And we need some sort of transition out. Like, the only thing I can think of is, like, Daniel comes in and announces he is doing his routine rounds of okay. So that's one idea. As Daniel comes in and announces he's doing his routine rounds. It's like, hey guys, I'm gonna go do the security rounds. Everything should be good. And, you know, station like 2 more men or 3 more men like in the room, kind of, you know, make it feel again like it's very like high priority. This is very high class. This is very, you know. Oh, and we need some sort of rumble. Need to add of rumble from the plane to look like an earthquake that's not reacted to. Okay. But that'll all we can do all of that in editing. We just have the basic scene down. That's what we're just trying to do. Is just get the basic scene down. See, I can keep this, because this could definitely be actually, like, Hunter taking drugs. I'm just gonna put this here. Have you ever heard or read anyone use the word ravel? Unravel, sure, but ravel. I think that's the same as, what was the word yesterday that we had? Nonchalant? But nonchalant isn't a word. So it's like, why is chalant not a word, but nonchalant is? Shouldn't the word just be chalant? That's like, what is it? Oh, what's the fucking word? The word that basically contradicts itself. Disestablishmentarianism. Yeah, disestablishmentarianism. It's a system used to eliminate systems. It's like, how can you have a system if your belief in systems is about destroying systems? It's a complete contradictory statement. Or what's the ear one? Ear. Yeah, and then anti-disestablishmentarianism. Yeah. What's the other one? It's the one that's not a word. Why can I not remember? Fuck, I don't know. It's like placing ear in front of something, but it's not an actual word, but people use it as if it's an actual word. Like, IR something. It's gonna bug me forever. To say that chalant isn't a word might be wrong because it would be in French, irregardless, without not having regard. Yes! It's irregardless. It's not a word because regardless is a word. Yes. Thank you, Sean. That was breaking my brain. I was like, why can I not think of this fucking word? Yeah, it's a double negative. So, but irregardless isn't an actual word. People use it, but it's not an actual word. It's like funner. It's not an actual word. People use it, but it's not an actual word. It doesn't fit within the structure of what... It's an anomaly in the structure of the English language because of the root language that the word was taken from. That is my understanding of it. But yeah, funner should be added to the dictionary, in my opinion. Yes, I think it's a stubborn dogma that it's not added. This dilemma is continues from next scene. So we're actually going to say this is 3. Or is this 3? Wait. This is 3. So this is 1, 4. One, 3, 1, 2, 1, 1. we're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We want 1.6. Continued from scene poker game. So I think like most of this we're gonna have to get rid of. Oxymorons are fun too, like military intelligence is jokingly referred to as being one. Yeah. Context is such a powerful thing, right? So yeah, I think we're just scrapping this. Yeah, this is really unfortunate, but this just dead ends our story. So, all of this can just be cut. Just think about perspective for this one. Okay, so we're gonna keep this, but it's gonna be moved to the next scene. Honor among thieves. Thieves are by natural dishonorable. True. So all of this is just extra. This is a transition. And then this is actually back to the beginning. So this is now scene 2, 1, goal. Find more Coke. Because he's out of Coke. So it's the first thing he needs to do. Find more Coke. And we want, like, the goal here for this is for all of the scenes to have the dilemma and decision all align on the same scene. So the decision for the poker game is going to be how do you say it? Like, that's going to be what presses, that's the dilemma decision, right? Who's going to take the call? The winner's going to take the call. Who's the winner? Oh, it's Josh. So Josh has to take the call. And that call leads directly into the main scene. Then with this scene with Tanner, it has to be the decision and the dilemma are going to be where to find the Coke, and that's going to lead them to leave the presidential suite, which is they're going to then run into Daniel, and then Daniel is going to do his thing. So the scene 1, so actually this is actually scene 3. And Daniel's scene is scene 2. So it'll go from the poker game to Daniel's rounds, back to the poker game. That'll tie the final scene. Or sorry, it'll go to it'll go poker game, Daniel's rounds. Then at the end, Daniel will be like, guys, you gotta come up here. Someone's gotta come up here. And then it will go to Tanner's scene, all about the drugs, all about everything getting fucked up, and then that decision dilemma will lead him to be standing at the top of the stairs staring at Daniel. While Daniel, and this will be like a repeat moment, where Daniel's like staring back at him like, yeah guys, we need a little bit of thing here. And then it'll bring back again as another repetition to the poker game, where they respond being like, oh, shit, yeah. So it's like these 3 indicators of repetition in 3 different paragraphs to indicate how all 3 of these scenes are connected together. Does that make sense? Did you actually change the names, or did they just stick in your head? I wasn't looking. No, we actually, like, look, Sean, we actually made those the names. So we have Hunter is Tanner, Joe is Josh, we still have Cindy, head of security is still Daniel Toes, and he's still Harold. And then we got Reginald, Richard, or Dick. We got Armil, Josh, and Bob. So it's just the being able to get each person's personality across, that you realize that these are, you know, these people in some way, right? But that'll come down to editing at the end. We just need to get everything down. Dialogue is going to be a beast to work with this, because a lot of it is going to be dialogue. Josh Ryder. It's not bad. Oh, and I'm going to change how it works. Like, okay, so that final scene that connects everything, right? That it's going to be the 4th scene is like Daniel like puts the handcuffs on Tanner, right? And then Cindy like freaks out with the journalists and everything, and they do like a live TikTok thing where they're basically saying that the plane has been like they've been kidnapped, and like they've been hijacked, and they don't know what's going on, and they clearly are with like the president, the ex-president, on like Air Force One kind of idea. And then it's kind of like the news. So the final scene after that is the news reporting on it, being like, oh, this just in, we got this 10-second clip, we're going to show you here about a potential terrorist attack on the plane. And then, you know, it goes through like the news cycle of everything, and then the next just in will be like the plane hitting the towers. And it's going to be like a combination of like the Titanic, of the idea of just like assuming a shit ton of things just went wrong in the perfect order that caused the plane to hit the tower because it was just in like cruising altitude, and this tower just happens to be super high, so it's like huge coincidence, but in reality, you know, the news is reporting it as like a terrorist attack or something. I thought that would be a great way to end it off and have kind of the twist, but you know, it's just some bullshit family feud happening on Air Force One that fucked everyone up. And it's like looking at how the news is reporting on the facts that they've been given and what you know as the reader of what actually happened. And I think that contrast is like the purpose of this story. Because I always think as I'm writing the story, it develops its own purpose, right? And I feel that's this story's purpose. So definitely reorganizing this is going to be just writing each scene in its own way. But this is the scene that will come back to it, which will be the decision and the dilemma for the poker game, which will be the comms at the very end where Daniel has already left. Because you know that Daniel's already left. And then they'll play one more hand with an all-in. And then Josh is going to win again, and they're going to accuse him of cheating. And then maybe something like that. They accuse him of cheating. Like, this is bullshit. And then the message comes on and be like, you know what? Winner goes. Everyone's like, winner goes. And it's like, fuck you guys. Alright. And then he goes and checks it out. And then, of course, it's, you know, the huge fiasco. Everyone gets in. Right? It's a good old time. So this is the scene continued from there. So I don't know if I have to rewrite this. Okay, well, we're gonna want this. Yeah, this is like... Get rid of that. Okay, so this is another scene. We're ending off with 3-1 goal, so we need 3-1. Yeah, we can cut like all of this too. Like this is just all gonna be like a completely we're taking the story in just a completely different direction than what we originally thought of. Okay, this one we keep. We can keep this. Keep this. Yeah, cut all of this. So this needs to be like kind of split up, but this is the let's just go back to the first scene. So we got the goal, conflict, which is the poker game, the disaster, which is Joe wins, reaction, and then we want the dilemma, .5, right? 1.5. And something like, we finish another hand, figure out who will go. Not thinking it seriously. Who will go inspect? And then the 1.6 decision is Josh wins, he goes. And then this is, where is it? Here. There, that completely restructures and we know where things are now. And those are all the lines we want. So everything else, this transition is for another scene right here. So that's where Daniel's scene comes in. And then this is 2.1 goal. Oh, I think we're out of music here. Hold on a sec. Let me. All right. To inspect plane. 2.2 conflict. Is a mess nearing the presidential suite. Top level of the plane. No. Oh, I know. Finds Tanner. 2.3 is disaster. Handcuffs. Tanner. 2.4 reaction. Harold and Cindy freak out. Cindy goes live on TikTok. Some shit name app. And then that's when brings everyone into the dilemma where everything should just line up. So now that we like we were trying to figure out, the best understanding of something is when you can manipulate it, right? So if we can manipulate this in the right way, like we were trying to move things around a little bit, but I wanted to stay away from that. So I figure out eliminating certain things. But in this case, it's not eliminating certain things. It's bringing all of those things conjoining together. Where it's like with this, we're actually having multiple characters. We're actually having multiple POVs, and we still have a twist in a non-character POV, like just like a radio broadcast or like a TV broadcast at the end, right? Just like kind of explaining and taking us through everything that's kind of happened, even though you kind of know what happened, and then after that it's like, boom, plane blows up and shit. And it's like, oh shit. Shit must have hit the fan, right? But we'll see. So this says, so if we want to go from here, then 2-5 dilemma is this is actually and 3.5 Tanner. And then 1, 2, 3.6 this is unknown. Media report about incident. So we only kind of know the dilemma, and we don't really know the decision. We just know the outcome of whatever happened on that plane caused it to crash into a building. Whatever kerfuffle, whatever fucked up shit, and we want to show how fucked up Tanner is and in his mindset of trying to get coke, that, it's plausible in the reader's mind that he would literally have fought his way to, like, get onto, to the pilots. Because, the way that it's framed in the story from the reader's perspective shows, like, exactly what's happening. So when Cindy, like, pulls out her phone and does the whole bullshit, it's like, you see, like, basically all of that happening, right? Until they're like, get off your fucking phone, and then they, like, unhandcuff him, and, like, some other thing happens that transitions the scene, where they're like, alright, everyone calm down, the rest of the president show up, or the rest of security shows up, or something like that. I don't know. But we need to create some sort of plausible way that, Tanner gets, or the plane in general. Like, there's so much of a kerfuffle on the plane that it literally crashes into something. But that's, I don't know how, I'm going to have to think on that. But for now, I think just restructuring this has been, like, really good. Because it's giving me even more, like, dimension, and found the holes of where I need to think of, to fill in the story. Okay, and then this 3.1, this is what we want. So we're just going to kind of put them back in order, take out all of this extra stuff that we're cutting. So this is 1.6. This is just the order of it goes in the story. 1-4, 2-1, 2-3, 2-4. Then all three of the scenes collide, with this being also this. Okay. And then from there we just have the 3.1. But we don't have any of... Where is Daniel? This is all garbage. Pretty sure I copied that. Yeah. Okay. Alright, looks like we can get rid of all of this. Okay, I think all of this needs to go too. Yeah. So cut all of that. We're basically cutting the entire fucking story and just starting from scratch. Like, it's a really, like, it's, I really don't want to do it, right? But we have an entirely different story now. And we're not dead ending ourselves with, like, transitions and, like, shit like that. We actually have, like, free reign of how we can morph this story now. So I think this is a good evolution of noticing that the story is a dead end and to redo it. It's the same story, it's just better. It's told in a better way. Presented in a better way. And that's a big thing, right? But hey guys, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today, because tomorrow's the weekend, so tomorrow it's probably going to be a longer stream. So I'll think through this and some stuff, and we can get, like, the full scene of, like, Tanner freaking out, and the idea of how that kind of works into it, and where the scene transitions are, because I guess, yeah, scene transitions are, like, one of our biggest problems that we need to work on with stuff. But I think completely restructuring this, getting rid of all that bullshit, and having a way better presentation of the story is far better than keeping some fucking, like, 500 words or something. 400 words. Who gives a fuck about 400 unedited words? If you're worried about that, you need to take a step back and think about reorient your priorities, right? And this is why it's like the outline is just an outline. You don't it's like I said, you let the outline carry your story in the direction that it needs to go. You always got to be on the path with your story, not against it.